Now to Hunter Biden's legal troubles. An in-person court hearing for his paternity case was canceled in Arkansas. This is a new court filing reveals that his former mistress, London Alexis Roberts, who is the mother of his estranged 4-year-old daughter, Navy, the one the Biden family doesn't acknowledge, well, she has her sights on getting Biden's controversial business dealings and the records associated with those out in the public.
Yeah, and Robert's legal team says they plan to call on some of his business partners that may have been involved in the shady deals. Also, that art dealer who sold his paintings but won't say to whom. They want them to testify if this dispute does go to trial, and it could this summer. Just last month, she said that Hunter is playing games with Discovery by failing to fully disclose his investment and income records, and she was asking the judge for him to be sent to jail for criminal contempt.
Now, Biden is asking the court to reduce his child support payments, saying he can no longer afford the $20,000 a month. That's part of his settlement that he agreed to shortly after his father announced his presidential run in 2020.
Of course, reports he flew in a private jet to get to this
pleading
hearing.
Poverty while flying on private jets.
Not exactly a winning argument there. All right, let's get to the ground. Batesville, Arkansas. That's where we find correspondent Christina Thompson, who is tracking all these new details for us. Christina, what are you hearing about Hunter's paternity case there today?
Well, that's right. I'm outside of this Arkansas courthouse, the Independent County Circuit Court. It's where Hunter Biden was supposed to have his hearing. Now, all of this is going down because London Roberts, as you said, wants her daughter to be able to take the Biden last name. He says that it'll offer her more affordabilities in life. But Hunter says it's not going to help her all that much. And further beyond that, he says he's in some financial trouble. And then fought back against her, saying, if you want her to take my last name, I want to pay less in child support. That's when Roberts got upset. She said, if you do not disclose your finances to this court, then I will take you to trial and force you to disclose them. Now, you're right. Hunter Biden saying that he can't afford $20,000 a month, yet he flew to Batesville, Arkansas here on a $55,000 private jet. Now, all of this is coming at a very interesting time because, as we know, Hunter is being investigated by the DOJ. And those investigators have said that should this go to trial, it should be hear from his business partners. It will be very revealing for that case because then we'll be able to figure out if he has any offshore accounts, who, as you were saying, his art was sold to. Some of it sold for nearly $500,000, which is quite strange for a first-time artist. But yes, Hunter Biden from here on out will be forced to appear in person to all of these court hearings in Arkansas. The judge got so fed up with him a few weeks ago, saying that he's been purposefully delaying proceedings here by zooming in, by missing meetings. So now he'll have to come in person every time there is a hearing. John, Bianca.
Christina Thompson live in Arkansas with those new details for us. Thanks, Christina. All right, joining us now is former Trump campaign aide, author of Wicked Game, Rick Gates, and also alongside him, Hogan Gidley, who served as the principal deputy press secretary under former President Trump. Good to have you both in, gentlemen.
Good to see you.
Well, I am not a betting man, but if I were, I would bet that there's more information going to come out of this family court hearing in what's going on with Hunter Biden's mistress, his baby mama, because what we're hearing from the FBI is they may never get to the bottom of any of these cases. If you guys were going to bet on this, Hogan, what do you think is going to be the more fruitful ground to get this information that I think a lot of Americans want to get out in the public domain?
Well, first things first, this is really a sad situation for a myriad of reasons, not the least of which is that there is a young girl involved in this and her daughter, neither of which are acknowledged or even recognized by the Biden family. This is one of the more disgusting things an elected official or anybody in the world could do as a father, not to acknowledge your own child. And for someone like the Biden family who talks about how important it is to keep family close, refusal to acknowledge this child is really disgusting. It's despicable. And I think the more the American people find out about it, the angrier they'll be. But speaking of anger, once you begin to uncover the business dealings of Hunter Biden and his desire to go back into court and say, hey, I really do want to be a deadbeat dad. Even further, could you reduce the amount of money that I owe to my daughter and her mother? That also is something that is infuriating to a lot of people. And while he took a $55,000 flight to this court hearing, he also had a lot of daddy's business partners give him money over the years to keep up his lavish lifestyle. He couldn't ask some of them maybe to chip in here for his daughter so that she could have a better life too. Not to mention, when you begin to look at his business dealings and the paintings, as you guys just reported, that's going to be a real serious problem. And I always have argued at the heart of this, it's not a Hunter Biden issue. It is a Joe Biden issue. And the more we uncover, the more layers of this onion we peel back, we're going to realize Joe Biden will be at the center of a lot of the money pouring into the coffers of Hunter Biden.
Yeah, what is the payoff for somebody paying off your $2 million tax liabilities that just vanishes into thin air?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you get in response for that? There has to be some sort of quid pro quo, we would imagine, not just his beautiful artwork.
It's Hunter taking care of Hunter, too. And he does seem to be above the law here. He's in Ireland answering questions because his dad can't, the president. He's in a private jet, as we just reported. But even bigger than this, too, is we have these brave IRS whistleblowers, Rick and Hogan. They've come forward. They're trying to, do the right thing. They're looking for protection. There's a letter they sent to lawmakers. Now they say there's another whistleblower with the IRS case that this week raised concerns to IRS Commissioner Daniel Werfel. So there are people, as you say, peeling back the layers of the onion, and they are saying the longer it takes for Congress to begin oversight of this issue in earnest, the more it emboldens those who would retaliate against our client. So, Rick, just take that development that broke this morning about new people coming forward to pressure the government.
Yeah, here's a whistleblower that had been on the investigative case for almost 5 years and then just summarily dismissed without even a phone call, according to his, information. And he is eager to testify in front of a bipartisan committee, the Senate and the House. Obviously, Senator Ron Wyden is trying to block this testimony from coming to light. And this is the whole problem. I mean, here is a program, the whistleblower program, that was approved by Congress to make sure to give protection to government workers inside that could help identify corruption and corrupt practices. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. But some of these people are being harmed, they're being threatened, and I think it's an absolutely abomination. In Congress, Republicans and Democrats both need to step in and allow these people to be heard, because these people are seeing things that the majority of us in the American public can't see, and it's absolutely essential that you get the transparency out. I don't care if you're Hunter Biden, or anybody else for that matter. We've got to have the transparency for the American people to see, to know that they can have faith in their government. And right now, that's a pretty low bar right now.
Yeah, as you guys indicated, there are legal protections for whistleblowers. The Biden administration doesn't seem to care too much about that. We're also going to talk to Garrett O'Boyle, one of the FBI whistleblowers, coming up in a little bit. Gentlemen, great to see you both. Hogan Gidley, Rick Gates, we appreciate your time.
Good to be here.
Thank you both.